Want to create custom letter tiles like these with your ScanNCut? These lettering tiles are perfect for scrapbooking, card making, fabric projects and so much more, and really adaptable. Let me show you how to create them in CanvasWorkspace. This project is suitable for beginners and features working CanvasWorkspace. It is adaptable and you can use it to create page flags and more. So open CanvasWorkspace and let's create our letter tile. We're going to go to basic shapes, choose the rounded square. It's going to come in at 10 centimeters or around 2 inches. We're going to size that down using the shift key to around about just under an inch. Now obviously that depends on the project you're making. If you need to have it smaller, go smaller. If you need to have it bigger, leave it big. Okay, we're going to need 2 copies. So we're going to have a solid layer that's going to cut from black, and we're going to have a letter layer that cuts from cream or whatever colours you want to use. We're going to start with the text tool, so you can select that from the left hand bar or type the letter T. You're going to click on the mat. We're going to put in a letter. Now I'm going to use a Q because it's a high scoring letter. As you do, I'm going to set that text to Apple Gothic, but any thin letter will do. I know this is opposite to what I usually say, but we're also cutting it opposite to what we usually would. So the Q itself is our waist. I'm going to pop that onto my tile, size it up, move that across, and we can align that in a minute. We're going to press T again and click on the mat. We're going to type in the number this time, so 10, and hit enter. If we go for our biggest number first, that means that when we are doing all the different numbers for the different characters, that actually we've allowed enough room, which is why I've gone for the letters I have. And because we're going to be scaling this down smaller, to make it look like it's the same weight, we need to make a bolder font choice. So in this case, I've gone for Century Gothic Pro Bold. And this is going to scale down, so it should be almost the same weight as a letter. So around about there. I'm going to pop that on. Now this is a little close for comfort. If you think about when you're cutting the card, you're going to end up with this tiny little join, which, you know, if your card's fairly thick, you're going to get away with. But if you're cutting it from something maybe a little thinner, or you're using vinyl and you haven't got any transfer tape, it's going to pull them, possibly rip. So give it a little bit extra room to breathe. So again, as I said, you know, you could be using card for cutting this design. You could be using vinyl. The choice is yours. Now, most important step here, usually at this point, I would say subtract so that you have an actual shape that you can send to your machine, rather than a collection of random objects. But in this case, it's actually more important to group. So I'm going to select the shapes and do Control or Command and G. And you're going to see that your inner shapes kind of disappear from that selection. And that's because it's all held in one container. So if we go into the layers, we can see that we say it's a group and we've got our different shapes. The reason that I do that is when it's a group, all that text is still editable. Once you do a subtract, it's no longer editable. You can't find out what font it was, so you can't easily recreate it. So hence we use group. You can then send that to your machine. So once we now have our letter group, we can now duplicate using the Alt method, or you can use the duplicate button at the bottom of the layers panel. So let's go for that one like so. And then we can change each letter and number individually. So double click, and we're going to change that to a G. Now you're going to probably find at this point that your resizing may play games. Don't be surprised. It's not ideal, but we can always fix that later, or you can do it as you go. The choice is yours. Hit enter. There we go. And that's not looking too far off. It's a little bit shorter, but we'll go with it. And we'll do the same again. So Alt and drag, drop it. And then we can change the letter if it behaves. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to capital O. Click off. Make sure you do click off between each letter. Otherwise you'll end up duplicating the letter rather than the tile. So let's go for capital C. And you can see that we're slowly running out of room, but don't worry about that. We can sort that after. And R. Click off. Select the letter tile. Press and hold Alt, click, drag. And E. Click off. Select the letter, Alt, and drag. A. And you can repeat that for as many letter tiles as you need for your word. Don't be afraid to also experiment with numbers as well if your design suits that. So you should have something that now looks like that. And we can send those to the machine ready for cutting. So I'm just going to drop these down here because we want to make sure that our letters stay within our red lines. And you're also going to notice I haven't bothered duplicating this base shape. And that's because you're going to kind of need to work out how many of those you need. So if you want to add lots of depth to your letter tiles, then my suggestion would be to cut more of this solid shape from your cream card, as well as one from black for each letter. So let's send that to the machine. We're going to go to File, Transfer to the machine, and transfer via Wi-Fi. Now you've noticed that I haven't hidden that cube, but you could hide it. And because I'm on Mac, that window stays up. So I'm just going to cancel that for now. And I'm also going to do a quick save as. I'm going to go to my folder, project files, CanvasWorkspace, and give it a sensible name. Letter tiles. There we go. Moving to our machine, we want to be on the home screen. And if you have a little update notice at the top, we'll ignore that for now. Just I know that there's been some update issues. So I'm going to go to Retrieve Data. and we sent it from the cloud. And it will take a little bit of time to retrieve that. And we can see all of the shapes that we have imported. Now, everything that is a group remains a group. Important thing to remember. So if for some reason you wanted to have access inside that group, you won't get it. Now, we don't need our queue anymore, so we can delete that one. Let's go to Edit and Delete. Okay. You might decide that you want to keep a blank tile for the cream. It's up to you. But I'm also going to go to Number, and let's think. We've got the G, the O, the C, the R, the E, the A, the T, the E, which takes us to 8. And we already have one on the mat. So we just need, actually, let's go to 8. So I'm going to put these down in the bottom half. And this means that we can cut both our cream layers and our black layers at the same time. Now, because we're planning on using 2 different materials on a mat, we can't use features like the space saving and expect it to give us the correct results. So I'm just going to pop all of these up to this top line, try and allow a little extra space between them. And like so. Okay. And this bottom group, let's make our life a little bit easier. Rather than selecting them individually, I'm going to use the window select and multi-select. Drag it down so it's around our black boxes. We can drag those down to the bottom. So that just means that when it comes to cutting from our black card, we put our black card down towards the bottom right and our cream card up towards the top left, or whatever colour card you want to use. So if you want to go really brightly coloured, you can do that. If you want to divide, say, part of your tiles into a third colour, you can do that. So if we tap off, we can go to multi-select. We can put it around just our 4 tiles there, go OK. And we could actually line those up to this corner if you wanted to do it so that you've got different colours or mix thereof. We'll go OK. OK. And then we're on to getting ready to cut. So we're going to go to Cut. We're going to check our settings. Now, in this case, we are cutting thin items. So unless your card is very thick, I would advise you probably get a better cut with either the blue manual blade, which people more often associate with the CM models, or the blue vinyl blade, which is the paler blue of the SDX range. And once you have your blade loaded, your mat loaded, you can press start and away you go. So let's unmask our letters. Now, you do want to check this before removing it from the machine, but check from both ends and on both materials that you have a nice clean cut. So we'll unpeel one black layer like so, and then peel away our cream layer. Now, if you have a letter where you have a hole in the centre, just leave that on the mat for now, and we can come back and do those towards the end. So, very simply, we're just going to apply glue to the reverse of our cream letter rather than the black layer. Prevents all the glue splodging through. Less is more when it comes to glue. Don't try and overdo it, or you'll end up with wrinkly tiles, and nobody wants that. It is wet glue, so you do have some room for wiggle. Press everything down. Make sure it's all lined up nicely. If the calibration is off-site on your machine, try and keep the squares in the same orientation and you shouldn't get an outline showing. So let me do that again. So we're going to peel away our cream layer. Don't worry about the centre. We're going to peel a black layer and flip over your letter. And we're going to just do a little bit of glue. Nothing too major. Just so that we don't get wrinkly tiles. Just going to pick up the black. Give it a bit of a wiggle. Press it down and you should have part one of your tile. Then we can pick up the centre. Now, this one's a bigger piece than what we're going to be doing in 4. So I'm going to do it slightly different. With 4, I'm going to apply the glue to the black layer, put the cream little triangle on top, let it dry. Don't try and touch it, don't try and press it or anything. With the letter, we can just flip that over so that we've got the back. And we can just do 2 little dots of glue to the top and bottom. We're going to pop that in so it stays nice and central. And we have our go. So by the magic of editing, and there we go. Feel free to make this project in your own style, or why not try it on different surfaces and with different materials. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to our channel for more, or go to our new website, which is gocreate.co.uk. Thank you.